We always said Agatha has had main character energy, for sure. Who doesn't love a witch?
I feel like it's a moment for women to be all the things that they want to be.
The really good question there is, who's this for? Okay, perfectly honest, fine to answer an honest question. Is it made for us? No, it's clearly not made for us.
That's obvious.
Okay, you know, gay twink boy in it. No, thank you. Straight white man, not my bag. Middle-aged witches who are trying to, according to the woman, be nice, great, powerful, whatever. No, so it's clearly not made for regular comic book readers, the majority of comic book readers, which is a bit of a bummer when your property that you're trying to put out there is
Marvel
actually,
Comics. Yeah, it does probably doesn't make a whole lot.
So if we're trying to define exactly who this audience is, I would say that it is this is made for middle-aged women who are either married and bored or single with cats, that might be middle class and think that having a gay friend is an accessory as opposed to a human being. So essentially them, the people behind the idea of it all. So it's not even made for women per se. It's not as if, is this made for 20-something women? No. Is this made for straight women who are, into action adventure, the romance, the hero that's going to sweep the woman off their feet? No, because it's going to have none of that. There's going to be effeminate, ineffectual males in this show, so it's not made for them. So again, we're back to the bored, middle-aged housewife or divorcee or spinster with cats that doesn't collect comics, so they're not going to watch this anyway. That doesn't subscribe to Disney Plus, so they're not going to watch this anyway because they're too busy knocking down boxed wine for a living. They think that's a career. And so the actual audience for this is fucking no one.
Mm-hmm.
Other than, I would imagine, themselves, the person who made the show, who devised the show. So they've once again created another show for themselves. And by themselves, literally the people behind the show. So we are dealing with a couple of dozen people, full stop.
So, yeah, again, so even if you do, and look, this is a corporate entity, obviously a mega corporate entity in Disney. So, sure, you're going to have your loss leaders, but I don't think that that Agatha can lead in terms of any losses. What I mean by that is, I don't think that making this show, even if you didn't get a return, is going to then get you. You think the price of or the demand, the demand for Agatha toys are going to go up, like to really move the needle? Of course not. Like, so
Hasbro might release a line. It might already be made, that contract signed with Hasbro, and they're going to.
And I have a story that I want to talk about with Hasbro later as well. But yeah, I'm sure it's going to be an attempt. But I'm just being dead serious. When you do ask the legitimate question of who it's for, you have to be honest with yourself. It's okay. Damn, if it's not for Rip and a Silverback, then it's for the middle-aged why-nots. Cool, but they're not going to show up, so it's an L for them either way. I don't think this is something that they're going to gravitate towards, just like they did gravitate towards. We've already seen it in action. It's even the same kind of theme when you talk about the witches and shit with Acolyte. Like, so you have, wouldn't you compare like the audience that it's supposedly targeting? It's pretty similar, is it not?
Both these shows are designed for failure. They're designed for failure. They're not in any shape, way designed for success. There's no way these shows could be a success. You can say, well, the Acolyte had the Star Wars brand attached to it, so, surely there's got to be some element of potential success because they killed Star Wars. I mean, we say it on every video, but it's the truth. The brand of Star Wars is dead. It's a $4 billion bust. They killed it. The people,
it doesn't have the pull anymore.
Dude, it's the biggest cinematic franchise in the history of mankind is now a D-list television show on a subscribing service that gets less than a fucking million people watching an episode. It's dead. The toys are fucking dead. The merchandise is dead. So you're setting these people up for failure, and you're attaching whatever ideology that they have or whatever orientation they have to them. And therefore, you're saying, "Oh, well, this show failed because of a bunch of bigots and homophobes."
That's the angle, though.
That's their angle, but the reality is, you designed and set it up for failure because there's not an audience, because you killed the audience.
Yeah, well, there's not. Well, yeah, well, that's a different approach, and you're completely correct, because then you're looking at it from the just analytical perspective. Like, I mean, even if you look at just a general Disney perspective, or Marvel and Star Wars, to be more precise. Those do not have the same pool that they once had. They don't have the same pool that they once had. So things have changed. So the baked-in audience is gone, right? So you don't have them.
No.
And that's what trips me out when look. I say this as a guy that owns a damn comic book business that is creating things of different genres, right? So people are going to appeal, or books are going to appeal to certain people. You have your kind of baseline diehards that are going to be into it. Why you would reject them, I have no idea. But I think that's what differentiates this. It's not, well, I'm in a superhero comics, or I'm in a detective based comics. I'm in okay, cool. But there is a general comic audience. To just try to do something in comics or comic book based and to not appeal to them is probably just a tad bit foolish, right? And then when it fails, and I guess that's what we see in the mainstream, the argument then is, well, it's the bigots, they're winning, Disney's listening to, or Warner's listening to the bigots. And they're like, bro, that has nothing to do with it. My opinion wouldn't matter of this. Az's opinion wouldn't matter as far as like in the grand scheme of things, if y'all just showed up. So it doesn't matter if we disliked it, or thought it was corny, or thought it was foolish. If you showed up to the point to where it got a return, you hold the dub. The results are the results. Fuck what we got to say about it. The results are the results. So you're not going to get the results, though. You set it up for failure.
Yeah, we can't go round. We're not going round everybody's house on the fucking planet, knocking on their door and saying, stop. Don't you dare
subscribe. Don't you dare do it. I'm not doing that shit. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact is, people aren't watching. People aren't turning up. And is it because of bigoted YouTubers? No, because people can make decisions in the privacy of their own home. It's like that moron, Kim Belair from Sweet Baby Stink, who said, I couldn't make, even in a character customization screen in my own house, I couldn't make a character that looked like me because I thought that all these characters had to be white males. And you're like, you stop being, just stop lying for a start. Just stop lying. But B, don't be a dumb fuck. That's the whole point of a customization screen, a character customization screen. So you can make what you want. You can make a power fantasy of yourself. You can make something complete and utterly different. You could make whatever you want. That is why they're there. To do that. So the whole rhetoric behind this stuff is bullshit anyway.
Yeah, it's bullshit.
So the reason why people aren't turning up to these shows is because people aren't interested. Because you think if you try to sell this as, let's say, the gayest Star Wars show or the gayest Marvel show, you are in essence insulting every gay person, because you're saying every gay person has to turn up because gay. And you're all the same, and you all think the same way, and you must agree with our philosophy on that because it's made for you. No, there's gay people out there go, it's not for fucking me.
Yeah, it's not.
That's just my sexual preference. That doesn't make who I am. That's not my identity. But we're dealing with companies and people that identity is their life.
Yeah.
The superficial's their life. Oh, I am this melanin level. I identify as this pronoun, this sexuality, this orientation. But just superficialities. People just like, you know what, sir? I'm an individual, and I actually do like a little bit more. I like some depth. I like complexity. Just because I'm gay or straight or bi or whatever doesn't mean that I can't enjoy stories that don't fall into those categories. If the character's good, if the stories are good, I can just get invested. We all can. There's been plenty of films, TV shows that we've all watched throughout our lives that have got people from different walks of life, be it color, religion, ethnicity, gender, male or female, because there's only two, sexual orientation. We've all gravitated towards those and empathized because there's elements of the character which we can all relate to. Right. Regardless of where they come from. That's why fandom, that's why characters have survived for decades upon decades. Because everybody sees either thematically what they enjoy or elements of that character which they can relate to.
Right.
But these people, the Disneys and they're into their collective bubbles. Amanda Stenberg herself admitted, I live in a bubble. And I understand that living in a bubble means that I just see a certain perspective. And you're just like, okay, you're beginning to get it, Amanda, because I agree. Because algorithms, I'm agree with you with algorithms. You go online and you wonder why everything's so divisive. You know, you've got the algorithm doing the meme. The algorithms are like, because that's what they're set up to do, is just push people into more and more of the same shit that they're interested in. And there's no denying that. And then she goes on to say, but with that said, this is why you're all wrong type of business. You're just like, oh, you were so close to getting it. You were so close to understanding it. People are individuals. They're not collectives. And that means gay people, black people, white people, straight people, Muslims, Christians, Catholics, Buddhists. It doesn't matter. So what you have to do is, because there's so many different groups and so many eclectic people out there, you have to find themes. You have to find themes and characteristics that everybody can understand and empathize. Yes, timeless classics are called that for a reason. And they're not looking for that. They're looking for the here and now, the current day, the stunning and brave, their current ideology, and that's all they're doing it for. So you end up with something like Agatha or The Acolyte, and they are made for fucking tens of people.
And then those tens of people didn't even show up.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to head over to Rippaverse.com to check out our comic book company. We have books, plenty of merchandise, and even some glorious animations from Rippaverse Studios.